Tonight, a high-risk offender back in court. A guilty plea from a Kitchener man who was arrested hours after being released. A critical call to drivers.
I think most of them are just oblivious to what's going on around them when they're on the highway.
To slow down.
The side of the highways are a workplace for tow truck drivers and emergency personnel.
The hit-and-run death of a Kitchener man.
Our condolences go out to the family, friends, and the company.
Hitting close to home in the industry. Plus, Preston Springs cleared for condos.
I think that the Preston Springs has been a bone of contention for Cambridge for many decades.
A developer's win against a years-long battle.
I thought we'd mounted some really good arguments
over the future of the site. Good evening. A Kitchener man deemed a high-risk offender has admitted he purchased alcohol just hours after a judge ordered him not to. Kevin Kaler pleaded guilty to that offense in court this morning. CTV's Krista Simpson has details.
On October 16th, Waterloo Regional Police put out a photo of Kevin Kaler, saying he had completed his sentence for the 2013 choking death of his roommate, Marianne May. Police describing Kaler as a high-risk offender with a number of convictions for violent offenses on his record. Before his release, Kaler was placed under conditions by a judge for a period of 18 months. Among them, he was to abstain from purchasing and consuming alcohol. But court heard less than 5.5 hours later, Kaler went to an LCBO on Victoria Street and bought a bottle of fortified wine. A staff member recognized Kaler from the photo released by police. The next day, police were notified and video surveillance from the store was reviewed, and police agreed it was indeed Kaler, noting he was wearing the same clothing he had on earlier that day when he was transported to court. Kaler's drink of choice is also known to be the same brand of fortified wine. Kaler was arrested at a nearby motel a short time later, and while Kaler admits to buying the wine, he says it wasn't for him. Mr. Kaler maintains that he bought it for somebody else and he didn't consume it, defense lawyer Nick Gale said during the plea, adding that Kaler said he didn't know what that other person's drink of choice was, so he picked the fortified wine. This case will be back in court on Monday to find another date where they can continue the plea and proceed with sentencing. Kaler remains behind bars for now. Krista Simpson, CTV News, Kitchener.
An update now to a story we brought you last night. A ground search for a missing Kitchener resident has now been called off. 25-year-old Eli Wood disappeared after a fire at a major street home back in October. People in the community planned to spend part of Sunday searching a wooded area near the Grand River. That search has now been canceled due to snowy weather conditions and safety concerns. Organizers say they're now focusing their efforts on planning a vigil and fundraiser for Wood's family instead. The death of a tow truck operator from Kitchener in a hit and run on the 401 this week has those in the towing industry pleading with drivers to pay more attention on busy highways. As CTV's Colton Weens tells us, some say many drivers appear to be oblivious to Ontario's laws about slowing down and moving over.
A 42-year-old Kitchener man was operating a tow truck, helping a stranded motorist on Highway 401 Wednesday morning when he was killed in a hit and run. Tow truck operators say it's a terrifying example of why drivers need to slow down around emergency vehicles.
A lot of people don't even realize what's going on when they're driving down the road. They see a vehicle on the side. I think most of them are just oblivious to what's going on around them when they're on the highway.
Towing manager at Active Towing in Kitchener, Al Pinero, didn't know the man who was killed, but says in the cities, most drivers give tow trucks space when they're working, but on highways, it's often a different story.
We've been parked in front of a police car with them having their lights on, us having our lights on, picking up a vehicle, and they whiz by. Like I said, the public is oblivious to that law and to what's kind of going on around them.
One of the challenges for tow truck operators on the highway especially is they say there's not much of a buffer zone from the side of the highway to the active lanes.
There's really no buffer for us unless, every time we pick up a car on the highway, we get a blocker truck, and that only happens very rare.
It is law in Ontario that drivers must slow down when they see an emergency vehicle or tow truck with flashing lights, and must move over if it's safe to do so. But while many do that for police, fire, and ambulance, it's less common around tow trucks.
The activity to do that same action for tow truck drivers, what we've seen is it's not as high as it is for other emergency services.
Drivers that don't obey the law could face a fine of $400 to $2,000, 3 demerit points, and could have their license suspended.
Even at giving that space, you feel the wind of highway speed vehicles going past you.
DeFelice says while there is no set number that drivers must slow down to, they still must slow down significantly.
Recognizing that there's a flow of traffic and you need to, manage the flow of traffic, but obviously 100 kilometers an hour speeding past someone who's working on the side of the road isn't safe.
As for the investigation, police have identified a vehicle and driver of interest, but have not released any more updates. Colton Ween, CTV News, Kitchener.
Time for a check on the weather. Let's head over to Leanne Evans now on this Friday evening. I don't say this too often, but it was a beautiful sunset on my way into work today.
Yes.
It was very early, the sun going down tonight. But some active weather on the way.
Yes, and you know what? That beautiful sunset was because we saw so much sunshine out there late this afternoon. I believe when we were talking about it, I said between that 2 and 4 o'clock window, if you could get outside then, that was the perfect time to do so because it was a gorgeous winter December day out there at that time of day. However, the morning, not so much. We actually hit an overnight low and it was record-breaking on this day. We'll talk about that later on. Right now, current temperatures, -4 in Waterloo region through London as well, -1 in the GTA, -3 in Hamilton through the Windsor area too. Now with the wind chill, it's feeling a little bit cooler, not quite as cool as what we were feeling the past couple of days, but feeling into the double digits when you do factor in that wind chill. And things are quite calm as of right now. We're noticing a little bit of cloud cover out there across southwestern Ontario, but we are set to see some snowfall. Not quite a winter storm, however, it will be enough to have some localized accumulation. So we'll talk about all that, break it all down, the timing and everything later on in the full forecast. Tony.
All right, Leanne, thank you very much. We'll talk to you shortly for those details.
Sounds good.
A new manufacturing facility is coming to Ingersoll, which officials say will create dozens of new jobs. It won't offset the layoffs at the Cami assembly plant, but it's certainly going to help, according to many in the community. CTV's Sean Irvin reports.
In a community devastated by 1,200 layoffs at GM Cami, any sign of economic growth in Ingersoll is welcome.
The job numbers aren't huge, but the investment is very significant.
ArcelorMittal Taylor Banks is already working to build a 154,000 square foot facility just off the 401. The firm produces steel safety components for the automotive industry. Some hiring has already begun, with a workforce of between 28 to 35 people expected to be in place by this time next year. Ingersoll officials report the company is hoping to start some pre-production this summer. AMTB already operates a facility in Woodstock. Ingersoll offered breaks on development charges and taxes to lure the firm to town.
We're not looking for the quick win, and so we want to be able to have that long-term prosperity in our community. So I'd rather give up some funds in the short term for that long-term gain.
The incentives and Ingersoll's proximity to other AMTB facilities helped it beat out dozens of other municipalities.
In this case, ArcelorMittal was looking at 41 different municipalities, and Ingersoll came out on top.
We're within an hour's commute of approximately 3 million working age people, and part of a talent cluster. So I think that's ultimately what made the decision.
The province announced this week that it's putting $4.1 million towards the project. In a release to the media, the government stated AMTB is an example of the reshoring of production from the United States. While a positive development for Ingersoll, the community has no choice but to remain focused on Cami. Everyone here is confident the plant will restart. It's just a question of when.
We anticipate it's going to be a bit of a longer term before we get positive news coming from that facility.
But Petrie believes there is always the hope that more plants like this one are on the horizon to ease the impact.
There's going to be more of that coming, I think.
Sean Irvin, CTV News.
The eyes of the sports world, and many others for that matter, were fixed on Washington, D.C. this afternoon as the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw took place at the Kennedy Center. The star-studded affair featured actors, models, singers, and athletes, including Wayne Gretzky. It also had politicians, U.S. President Trump, Prime Minister Carney, and Mexico's president. The big questions fans are asking: who will Canada play in this summer's tournament, and who will play in Canada? Here's CTV's Paul Hollingsworth.
48 teams, 12 groups of 4. Switzerland and Qatar will battle Canada in Group B. The 4th team in Canada's group will be determined based on the winner of an upcoming pre-World Cup playoff.
Between Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
As a host country, Canada automatically qualified for the World Cup and are ranked 27th in the world. With the complexion of their group competition taking shape, Canada now looks ahead to the World Cup, hoping to win a tournament game for the first time ever, and it won't be easy.
Well, obviously they got the toughest pot 4 team. We know that. We don't know who it's going to be, but thinking it being a European team, and it could be Italy themselves, it makes it an extremely difficult game. But what an exciting match we're going to get in Toronto.
I think the highlight is absolutely Qatar.
Canada will play its first home match June 12th in Toronto before shifting to Vancouver for matches on June 18th and 24th. FIFA will unveil its full match schedule on Saturday, announcing all the games being played in Canada. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Washington.
A shortage of lab technicians has some in the medical community making a plea to the province. Coming up, the staffing crunch that is now described as critical.
I'm Heather Center, and the site where the Preston Springs Hotel once was has been cleared for condos. The Ontario Land Tribunal has sided with a developer who wants to bring 3 tall residential towers, but the city of Cambridge isn't impressed with the tribunal's decision. That story is just ahead.
Well, it was nice to see some sunshine out there to end off the work and school week, but we're into December. Snowfall is imminent, and it's on the way. We'll time it all out. Coming up in the full forecast.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news.
The site in Cambridge where the iconic Preston Springs Hotel once stood has been cleared for condos. The Ontario Land Tribunal has sided with the developer in a plan that has certainly been a hot topic. CTV's Heather Centerin live now with more on this. Heather, we're talking 3 tall residential towers.
And since then, the project has gone through several iterations, Tony, as the developer has worked on changes. The plan now is towers that are 22 stories, 20 stories, and 18 stories, with a total of 635 units. The Ontario Land Tribunal sided with the developer Hosstown Holdings, which wants to build 3 residential towers on the site of the former Preston Springs Hotel.
It was a 3-way fight. There was the city, the developer, and us.
The OLT dismissed 2 appeals, one from a Preston resident who has been lobbying against the project for years, citing concerns about size and traffic congestion.
But mostly shocked and disappointed.
Glenn Nias represented himself, and using community donations, he hired 3 experts to be witnesses in heritage, traffic, and planning. But it wasn't enough to sway the tribunal.
I'm not sure if the OLT is pro-development as much as whoever has the money to pay for the experts and the legal costs tends to win the argument, I think.
Hosstown Holdings appealed Cambridge City Council's decision last year to cap the development at 15 stories and only allow 2 towers. The original proposal was 3 towers ranging from 22 stories to 26 stories. Then it was changed to 18 to 22 stories.
And so when council revised those plans to come up with something completely new on the fly, I paused and said, we've got to slow down here. I'm not sure if this plan will work.
Councillor Scott Hamilton was the sole vote against the city's cap last year. He says he's glad there finally will be movement on the site.
Right now, it's an empty lot. It's been described as an eyesore, and so I think what this developer has proposed, although it's different than what's come before it, I still think it will be great.
The mayor of Cambridge told CTV News the OLT's decision differs from the position taken by myself and council. While I'm disappointed by the outcome, the OLT is the final authority under provincial legislation. The developer says it's pleased with the tribunal decision, saying Hosstown has spent years, money and effort on the project that is meant to serve as a catalyst for growth in the Preston core. In a statement, the president said it is unfortunate Cambridge forced a lengthy and costly hearing for Cambridge taxpayers, saying in part, "We were particularly disappointed the city refused our public offer to settle and, more importantly, never offered any compromise position or even a counteroffer that would have allowed for negotiation." The developer says he is looking forward to putting the past behind and moving forward with the project. At this point, there is no timeline for construction to get underway. As for the resident who was trying to stop the project, he admits that this is probably the end of his fight. He says there is an appeal process, but he worries he wouldn't win when self-representing. He says the community chipped in to help pay for the process at the tribunal. He says it cost around $60,000. Tony.
All right, Heather Centerin with the latest on the Preston Springs site. Heather, thank you. Public Health Ontario is out with the latest figures on the spread of respiratory virus across the province as influenza drives most of the illness being seen in the community. Officials released the latest lab testing results from the week ending November 29th. Flu tests overall had an 18.3% positivity rate, already considered high. But look at this, flu positivity topped 52% among children ages 5 to 11 and 46% among those aged 12 to 19. Children's hospitals reported a surge in patients seeking care, noting most had not been vaccinated against flu. Health experts advise people of all ages to get shots to help reduce the risk of serious illness, with flu season not expected to peak until late December. Well, the Medical Lab Professionals Association of Ontario says staffing shortages have now hit critical levels. As CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan tells us, they've made a one-time request to the health ministry to train more staff.
Almost 70% of Ontario's medical labs, that is public health, community labs, and those in hospitals, say they are experiencing staff shortages.
I would say in a lab like mine, which is a core lab, 75% of the work is chemistry testing, which means those are the tests that can diagnose kidney failure or liver failure, or can help diagnose a heart attack.
Jennifer Santa White has worked in the small community of Red Lake in northwestern Ontario for 20 years.
There's only 3 MLTs on my staff, which can be quite challenging. When one person goes on vacation, I'm pulled out of my office from working on the quality aspect of the medical lab professional's job to working on the bench.
40% of Ontario labs surveyed say staff shortages are starting to affect testing turnaround times. And if you can't get a diagnosis, you can't get the right treatment.
70% of the data that's provided from laboratories is actually provided to physicians so they can treat us.
Michelle Hode says the holiday season is actually their busiest time of year.
Right now, flu is rampant everywhere in Ontario. Whether you are going in for hip surgery, whether you're using the Emerge, those are fully staffed labs by lab professionals that work 24-hour shifts.
The Medical Laboratory Professionals Association of Ontario has sent the Health Ministry a one-time request for $6 million over the next 3 years. It wants the money to hire more preceptors, retired lab technicians and technologists who can work as instructors for the practical training required to become a lab professional. The Health Ministry says it's taking action, adding, since 2018, we've added nearly 2,000 more medical laboratory technologists to our workforce. To build on this progress, last year we announced 700 new education seats for medical laboratory technologists and technicians. Hode acknowledges that doctors and nurses are also experiencing burnout, but
don't forget that there is an army of lab professionals hidden behind a door that you don't see, that are working very hard to get you the test results so you can get treated and get home to your family.
Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Sick Kids has released its annual holiday campaign featuring Ryan Reynolds, and as in years past, he has called in some celebrity help.
And this year, well, it just happens to be the pride of Ontario and Los Angeles. That's right, Mr. Freddie Freeman.
Hey, kids. Of course, Freddie Freeman was a key member of the Los Angeles Dodgers who defeated the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series. Yeah, we all remember. And in this promotional video released today, the kids were not exactly thrilled to see him.
You've really got some nerve coming here.
I just wanted to visit because I'm just so happy and so proud of how you guys are. Whoa, who threw that?
Go back to your sunshine and traffic, you hoser. You and every...
Freeman was a good sport playing along in that video as he clearly struck out with the kids. The All-Star was raised in California, but his parents are from Ontario, and he plays for Team Canada to honor his mother, who passed away from cancer when he was 10 years old. All in good fun, I guess, right? Here's a live look outside from, I don't know where this is from, Cambridge City Hall. Thank you very much. Beautiful night out there. Christmas lights lit up. And on the heels of a clear day, but we are expecting some snow. Leanne's going to tell us all about that when we come back in just a few moments. Also ahead, forget the Swiss Army knife. The Smith blade has many more uses, and it's made in Cambridge. Spencer Turcotte tells us how the geniuses at Hacksmith Industries have come up with something unique yet again. Plus, taking the temperature on Canada's need for new fighter jets. That's next. All right, Leanne's here with our forecast, but first, I have a question for you.
Oh, okay. Friday trivia.
Friday trivia. We were joking about music last night.
Uh-oh.
And so I decided to do the Spotify thing where it says how old you really are based on the music you like. Take a wild guess.
I think I saw you post something about this.
Oh,
but wasn't
no.
it like 67?
68.
68. So, see? Was I not right last night?
You were. So you can tell your dad I'm a lot closer than we thought.
Exactly. I knew I was on to something there. Mine would probably say, like, you're 17.
Probably, yes, but that's okay because we eventually meet in the middle on these things.
We do.
And I wear that 68-year-old music age with a badge of honor.
Yes, and you've taught me a lot about the oldies hits, and I think I've taught you a thing or two about country music, pop music, you know?
I have taught you a few things because older music is better.
It is
All right.
really good. I'm going to do my Spotify wrap. We'll check back in Monday.
Yes, please. I'm curious about that. But let's talk about the numbers in the forecast now because they've been a little more tolerable the last 24 hours than they were, for example, last night right after the show. That wind chill was brutal.
Yep, over the past couple of days, it's been really, really cold as you've been leaving the station around the midnight mark. Last night, actually, we broke an overnight low record on this day. So
felt like it.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, you're in the right realm there because it was very chilly. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, a live look from Cambridge City Hall tonight. Much more enjoyable to be out there this evening than it was last night, I would say. And you can see lots of people are out walking around. I know the city of Cambridge has their Winterfest going on right now throughout the course of the weekend. So that's something you can check out in the Hespeler area as well. Okay, let's talk about what is going on weather-wise here over the weekend and what it's all going to look like. But first, today's daytime high, -3 is what we've reached. It's still below seasonal for this time of year, but this is that number we were talking about. -20 came around 2 and 3 o'clock this morning, and that is a record low for this day, which was set back in 2007 at -16. So yes, if you felt it was really cold overnight and if you were waking up early this morning, that is because it was feeling closer to -25 when we factored in that wind chill. So temperatures are on the rebound, and I think we should all be happy about that. -4 currently in Waterloo region. It's -2 in the GTA, -3 through London, Sarnia, Chatham, Kent, and Windsor, feeling into the double digits when we do factor in that wind chill. But it was a really nice afternoon just to get outside, a little bit of sunshine out there locally as well. If you made it out for a walk, it was pleasant and comfortable. Overnight tonight, dropping to a low of -7, so much warmer than it was last night. It'll feel like -13 when we factor in that wind chill. We're going to talk about that snow momentarily. -1 will be the daytime high tomorrow. It'll feel like -11 in the morning and closer to -7 into the afternoon. Let's get into the snowfall. That's what everyone wants to know about their weekend plans. I'm sure some of you have holiday get-togethers or parties to go to, so this is going to be something to keep in mind as we're out on the roads traveling. We're watching a pair of Alberta clippers that are going to be traveling from Western Canada over the Great Lakes, with it bringing accumulation of snowfall, Arctic air, as well as gusty winds. So the first one overnight tonight into Saturday morning. We could see some snowfall through to Saturday morning, but it should clear out by the afternoon hours. However, there is a chance for some freezing drizzle into the afternoon Saturday, and then that next clipper is set to move in on Sunday. So we will see a little bit of accumulation here in Waterloo region. It won't be exactly like a snowstorm, but we will see localized amounts, anywhere from about 2 to 4 centimeters accumulating on the ground over the course of the weekend. And in the long range, we are looking at some sunshine by the start of next week, and those overnight lows are getting a little bit more manageable as we get into next week as well. Tuesday, -5 the overnight low, by Wednesday, -6. But yeah, we'll see some snowfall on and off over the course of the next week for sure. In the Windsor area, mix of sun and cloud for your Saturday. Freezing mark, the daytime high, so great day to get outside, do some winter outdoor activities before that snowfall moves in on Sunday. And in southern Georgian Bay, get set to see some snowfall in your area. It's going to be pretty consistent over the course of the next week. However, a little bit of a break on Monday with plenty of sunshine, a high of -6, a low of -8 before that snowfall moves back in. And tonight's Weather Watcher picture is from Anne in Mapleton Township. Anne says she actually took this a few days ago. She did send it to us tonight, but I do feel it's a good depiction of what this afternoon looked like, because we did see plenty of sunshine out there and just a gorgeous shot in general. So Anne, thanks so much for being tonight's Weather Watcher.
Thank you, Anne. Yeah, that's a nice way to capture an otherwise cold day.
Yes, I love a winter day that's cold and crisp, but there's sunshine and no wind. That's my favorite.
Makes all the difference when that sun comes out. Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
Canada's long committed to procuring 88 U.S.-made F-35 fighter jets, but in light of lingering trade tensions and Sweden pledging up to 10,000 jobs if Canada purchases jets from them, well, the federal government's been looking over its options. Now, new numbers from Nanos show what matters most to Canadians. CTV's Rachel Aiello has details.
As the Canadian government contemplates following through on its procurement of Lockheed Martin's F-35s or diversifying the Air Force's fleet by also acquiring Swedish company Saab's Gripen E fighters, a Nano survey about procurement priorities is shedding new light on what Canadians think is most important. 40% said having the fighter jet that is the best solution. 28% said picking the jet that generates the most Canadian jobs. 18% said defense cooperation with Europe was the most important factor. Double the number of Canadians who said cooperation with the U.S. was key. And just 2% of those surveyed said the government should pick the lowest cost option.
What this shows is that if the government decides to change tact, it's actually going to have to explain why.
A recently leaked procurement document revealed the F-35 scored higher than the Gripen across a range of military and technical performance categories.
In your report and recommendations to the Prime Minister in this review, did you let him know that the F-35 beat the Gripen by a mile?
The review continues, and it will continue until it's complete. And I am quite sure that the kinds of metrics you're alluding to and referring to will find their way into the final report.
Experts say while the F-35 may be the better choice to maintain interoperability with the Americans, a diversified fleet compatible with more countries could also be to Canada's advantage. Even as critics suggest Saab's pledge to create 10,000 jobs in Canada is unrealistic.
There is no single best jet. It depends on the missions.
The defense minister hasn't committed to a deadline for when the government will decide what fighter jets will make up the fleet, replacing Canada's aging CF-18s. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up, we will show you the Smith blade. What sets this multi-purpose tool made right here in Waterloo region apart? The story right after this.
It's time to build a toy mountain.
Make this holiday season merry for so many kids.
Bring new unwrapped toys to your local Canadian Tire.
All in support of the Salvation Army.
We'll be collecting donations from November 19th to December 24th.
With all donations helping families right here in our community.
Toy Mountain, supported by the Core Group, Goman's Appliances, and the Crack Specialists.
Let's make this the best toy mountain ever.
Visit ctvkitchener.ca for more ways to donate.
Some strong economic news today with more jobs added across the country for the third straight month. 54,000 jobs were added in the month of November, which drove the unemployment rate down to 6.5%. Youth unemployment is higher, but it also fell to 12.8%. Most of the overall job gains were from part-time work. While the job numbers showed surprising growth, a closer look reveals much of it was concentrated among big companies, while small businesses have been losing workers or aren't hiring. CTV's John Venevalley-Rao has more.
At the Black Dog Pub in the east end of Toronto, business is actually quite good right now. It's busy amid the Christmas season, and quite the contrast to a month ago.
We had a lot of groups and a lot of parties.
But manager Brian Foss says overall they've noticed a bit of a slowdown this year, with customers spending less. They haven't had to lay anyone off, but sometimes their staff don't get as many shifts as they'd like.
People are scared, right? A lot of people that would go out maybe 2 times, 3 times a month are going 1.5 times a month and saving their money.
The pub is also feeling the pinch, with the cost of food on the rise, along with beer. And like most small businesses, they'd love to expand and hire even more, but economic conditions just won't allow it. The group Merchant Growth, in a recent survey, found 77% of small businesses aren't hiring seasonal staff for the holidays. 28% said it's because they can't afford additional wages. 15% said they're uncertain about their sales outlook.
Hiring intentions have been down all year, and importantly, layoff intentions have been up all year. So when you mix those two together, you get for a weak labor market.
While large firms have added jobs this year, small businesses seem to have struggled more with tariff shocks, inflation, and higher operating costs.
All right, it is time now to recap our top stories. CTV's Ashley Bacon joining us in the studio with the latest. And Ashley, Kevin Kaler, high-risk offender, back in a Kitchener courtroom today.
That's where he pleaded guilty, Tony, just hours after being ordered not to purchase alcohol. That's exactly what he did. Court heard it happened on October 16th, shortly after he was released. At the time, he was under several conditions, including that he abstained from buying and consuming alcohol. Kaler admits to making the purchase, but says it was for someone else. He remains behind bars and awaits his next court date. Slow down and move over. It's a message being amplified by members of the towing industry after a tow truck operator from Kitchener was killed in a hit and run this week. Police say the 42-year-old man was helping a stranded motorist when he was hit, the incident prompting a reminder that drivers must slow down significantly and give tow trucks space like any emergency vehicle. Police have identified a vehicle and driver of interest in this case, but the investigation is ongoing.
And Ash, turning to what our digital team's working on, a reminder to drivers about a major highway closure right here in the region as we head into this weekend. This is going to be one a lot of people are going to want a heads up on.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one for sure.
Yeah.
The Frederick Street Bridge is coming down, which means all lanes on Highway 7 and 85 will be closed starting at 10 p.m. Saturday and should all reopen by 7 p.m. Sunday. The closures and demolition are part of the province's plan to build a new Highway 7 between Kitchener and Guelph. For more information on the story, you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen or visit our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Tony.
And I'm glad you flagged that again, because I feel like even though we mentioned it earlier this week, I already forgot about it.
There's going to be a lot of confused motorists on the weekend, so this is just another heads up, and check our website for updates.
Yep, it's a busy part of the region, weekday or weekend. Thank you, Ash.
Thank you.
YouTube sensations and engineering wizards Hacksmith Industries are introducing a 21st century take on the classic pocket knife. The Smith blade is much more suited for the concrete jungles and technologies of today. CTV's Spencer Turcott goes to their headquarters in Cambridge to check out the invention that has 21 tools in one.
From lightsabers to giant mechs to Iron Man tech.
Hacksmith Industries has a knack for taking sci-fi concepts and creating working prototypes. Recently, they've taken a serious turn.
A little change of pace around here. We've moved from YouTube to becoming a full-on knife manufacturer.
The team ran the most successful Canadian Kickstarter of all time in August over a 3-week period, raising $15 million to produce
the Smith blade. My version of the modern-day Swiss Army knife. I was a Boy Scout. Over the years, I've carried lots of different pocket knives and multi-tools. I've tried Leathermans.
But they've never quite cut it.
The tweezers. And the tweezers.
There you go. The tweezers.
Why do Leathermans not have...
I know.
He thought, why not make his own multi-tool to fill the gaps of others on the market?
The Hacksmith logo has featured a Swiss Army knife for the past 13 years. So you could say I've been priming my audience for this product.
The Smith blade weighs only 95 grams and has 21 tools integrated into it. To bring it to life, Hacksmith Industries have nearly doubled its workforce and continue to hire more people. They've overhauled their Cambridge headquarters to manufacture it there.
So all the titanium blanks are loaded onto these aluminum pallets. We actually set a Canadian record, and we actually have the largest single HOS order for CNC machines in Canada. We've got 32 CNCs.
They'll be using those machines to produce the 40,000 pre-ordered Smith blades for their Kickstarter backers. Then they hope to start making more, including versions for the general public.
To be able to hit different price points so everyone can afford a Smith blade. The light starts at about $89.99, the standard $169, and then the Pro $249. It's literally capable of cutting other knives in half.
For someone who has brought ideas from comics, movies, and video games to life, Hacksmith ranks the Smith blade surprisingly high among his accomplishments.
The biggest honor as an engineer, knowing that someone else likes your product that much, that it's part of their life.
As for what's next, the big dream would be to have the Smith blade become a dedicated gadget for the RCMP or military. And given what Hacksmith has achieved before, it may not be out of reach. Spencer Turcott, CTV News, Cambridge.
The gift of giving back coming up, using a competition on the ice to score a win for community hunger relief.
Holiday set decoration provided by Royal City Nursery.
A minor hockey organization in Burlington has found a unique formula to help stock the shelves at local food banks. The Gift of Giving Back uses a competition between teams to create the largest youth-run food drive in Canada. CTV's Sean Leathong tells us about it.
This is an event like none other. From drop-off to sorting, it's
a lot of people gathering to give food to charity.
The Gift of Giving Back food drive in Burlington is the largest of its kind in Canada. What makes it unique is that all the legwork is done by youth hockey players like 10-year-old Wilfred Livermore, who explains that the key to success is youth teams competing against each other.
They all compete over most pounds and most amount of money donated, and it's just fun to be a part of this.
Each season, teams from the Burlington Eagles Boys Hockey Club and the Burlington Barracudas Girls Club compete to see which team can gather the most food.
Each item here is collected can by can, item by item. We don't have large corporate donors dropping off skids of product or things like that. This is all done by the willing hands of our young people.
Starting in September, players go door to door, filling these blue bags through the fall and building towards this night in December.
We would get so competitive, we'd have to map out areas of Burlington on who was collecting from which parts.
Now in its 20th year, this event has become a rite of passage. Natasha Taylor-Wendy is an under-18 player who's been taking part for nearly a decade.
The other day I was looking through photos of me back when I was probably 11, collecting food out on the sidewalks. All my neighbors know me when I come around with the blue bags every year and asking them for food. So getting to see it all come in together and getting to see all the little kids that are just starting this and starting the journey that I have gone through, it really is just so fun to watch them.
Through community and competition, the results are massive. The food collected here is sent to food banks across the region, lasting through the holidays and beyond.
And this will take us into like even March, April of next year for us to be able to supply those food banks with the food that they need.
On this night at the Nelson High School gym, $750,000 worth of food is collected. The total for the drive is just over $1.2 million, serving as an inspiration to Burlington's mayor.
You feel the energy in the room, and for me, this is just an incredible lesson that you're never too young to get involved in doing something good for the community.
And the act of giving back proves to be a gift to these young players.
It's just good to like bond with your team.
As friendships are forged, a community thrives, and many more families will have what they need through the holidays. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
And time for a quick break, but first let's check in with Leanne.
Partly cloudy conditions this hour, sitting at -4 here locally, and we are set to see a little bit of snowfall to start off your weekend. We'll break it down coming up in Wake Up Weather. Here's what's on tap tonight. We're starting off with The Big Bang Theory, followed by Happy Place and Stumble. Then get your chef hat on for Hell's Kitchen before Boston Blue. That's on CTV tonight.
Tonight, the path to World Cup glory revealed.
It is going to be the biggest deal ever.
Canada's opponents, plus the sideline chat between Mark Carney and Donald Trump. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
You know I wanted to sing it.
I know. I could hear it. I could feel the music. That Friday feeling, just like a worried. What are the words?
Just like a white-winged dove, she sings a song, keeps on singing.
Okay.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well,
I wanted you to sing it.
I know. Another time.
Yeah.
I think people are tired of my musical antics this week, but
we've been on them.
They're never tired of listening to you. So how about we get into the Wake Up Weather?
Okay, wow, what a transition. What do you want?
I needed some way to steer this into the weather.
All right, let's talk about it because, of course, we are going to be seeing some snowfall move into the overnight hours. So we should be seeing some, scattered flurries throughout the early morning, especially until about 10 o'clock. Then the chance for some more flurry activity into the afternoon. So nothing too impactful, not like a winter storm, but it will be enough to see some localized accumulation and enough to just be a little bit mindful out there on the roads for your travel.
Just stuff that we should be aware of it when we're getting around this weekend.
Exactly.
Well, something we're going to have tonight at 11:30. Cambridge is hosting its annual Unsilent Night. Now, that's a modern twist on caroling, and it's one of 26 around the world where they host this event featuring interactive light installations, live LED performers. We're going to head there live right now because CTV's Karis Mapp is standing by to explain more about it. Karis.
Hello, Tony. Yes. So what's happening right now, we're in the square just outside of Cambridge City Hall. The countdown was meant to begin at 6:50, a little bit delayed. They might be waiting for us, so you might hear it in the background. But once they reach that one, that's when music is going to fill the square. I'm not sure if you can see behind me, the Christmas tree's lit. People are all in their lit up outfits. Just a really interactive event tonight. And then once they're done here, they'll be making their way along the 2-kilometer route to take in the rest of the beauty. And somebody that's a seasoned Unsilent Nighter. I'm here with Cambridge Councillor Scott Hamilton. Scott, can you tell me a little bit about what people can expect for tonight? What do you see along the route?
Unsilent Night is all about community building, lights, celebrating the spirit of the holidays by bringing us all together. It happens in 26 cities around the world, but Cambridge is actually the largest in the entire world. So we're here tonight to come together to celebrate that.
Wow, and so this route, so we're going to leave here. Where do people head after this?
We stroll up around the city, so down to Dixon, Main Street, down across to Melville, across the pedestrian bridge, otherwise known as Craig's Crossing, back up around the main part of the city near City Hall. A nice loop of the main of Galt lit by thousands of lights, a lot of happy people, and a lot of excitement about the holiday season.
Fantastic. Thank you, Scott. And as I mentioned, the event, the countdown's moment anytime now. So if you're in the area and you're kind of looking for something to do, this is where you want to be. Tony and Leanne.
All right, Karis, thank you. And what a great turnout, Leanne.
Yeah, no kidding. And it looks like Karis has been on some pretty good festive assignments the past couple nights.
Been great reporting from Karis all week as we've been live out at these community events. And before we go, we're going to talk about another initiative that we are right in the middle of right now, and we're trying to drive this to the finish line. Toy Mountain. It's filling in, but next week we have an especially busy week, Leanne.
Yes, we do, because, you know, a lot of groups that we've partnered with, their toy drive is going on now, right? We started this campaign back in the middle of November, but keep in mind, a lot of groups aren't ready to bring their toys in just yet because they're not done. So next week, busy week on tap. You're going to want to be here to see all those generous donations in support of the Salvation Army.
And Alan tells me we've actually moved some toys behind the mountain now to make room for more, because we know the community always comes through.
Yeah, our team's been good too about organizing the mountain every night. I know they're hard at work, little elves.
Yes, little elves everywhere, making sure that everyone's got something on Christmas morning. Well, some beautiful nighttime scenes from around the region this week as we say goodbye, because, well, this was from the Chris Kindle Market earlier in the week. It's nice to see that despite the cold, everyone's been getting out and being together this week.
And you know what? Of course, the Chris Kindle Market going on until Sunday. We talked about Winterfest in Cambridge also happening in Hespeler until Sunday, I believe. Lots of different Christmas events, festivities. And we saw the Uptown Lights earlier in Waterloo Park.
Wonders of Winter.
Yes,
That's
beautiful.
on until January 3rd. All right, have a great weekend. Whatever you're doing, we'll see you back here tonight at 11:30. Have a good night.
Take care.